The live students will be coming at 11:45 a.m. We are officially slated to start at 12 p.m., which will make it the afternoon. And on the East Coast, it will be 3 p.m. In Kentucky, it will be 3 p.m. In Europe, it will be 7 p.m. because they haven't turned the clocks yet. Now, what I have set up here in my Berkeley studio is the iMac 21 is sitting here, and you see a small screen of actually the webcam view of the piano, and I'll be walking over there to where the students will be playing. There is a Yeti mic set up here, and you can see my computer is set up actually on my Steinway piano, which means that the mic and the computer screen are not near the students that will be playing here. I've had to move it over here for the reason that they, 4 of them that will be here, will be seated on my couch watching the Skype people. And so because I'm filming this, I had to bring my mic over here plus the computer screen. Now I'm going to walk over to where the students will be playing actually in this room. Now here's the actual webcam view of the Baldwin piano that I will use for the live students. I'll also be using Skype call record, and you'll see that Skype call record. Let me see if I can get the icon up here where it is. Skype call record is going to, when I click view, sorry for the shaky camera, it will show me the call recorder over here. Here's the Skype call recorder. Now this allows me a couple of selections while this recital is going on. And those selections are remote, which means recording only the Skype people, the people who are not here. That will give me a view of them only in the recording phase, that is when you play back. Or you can do local, which is just us here, which will give me on the recording phase just the people here. And finally, their split screen. Let me see if I can find the split screen. Here we go. Split screen is okay, except that when you're a teacher and you use a split screen with a student and a playback, sometimes you don't get enough keyboard coverage of your keyboard, meaning your piano, and then the students. I prefer to try to do local so that when I demonstrate and I play back, the student sees the whole piano. But I'm going to be experimenting with that. Now the good news is that while you do a Skype record, while it's in progress, you can keep flipping your views and it won't stop the record process. So that's pretty much takes care of the recording part. I'm also recording on camcorder. So I will have a different perspective when the camcorder just pretty much zeroes in on the screen here. I'm going to walk over to the place where the students will play in this room. This is the view of where the students will play. It's kind of a pastoral view. You can see the camellias outside my window. I drew the blinds a little. I opened the blinds, I should say. I opened the blinds so we get a little more light. And of course, I'll have the overhead light here in the room. But it's kind of a very peaceful scene for playing and enjoying the musical experience. So this is the piano that the students normally play on. So they're used to this piano, and that's always nice. You can see all the other cameras, which I won't be using today. The only webcam I will be using happens to be the webcam mounted on that music stand you can see, which was very tested. It was pre-tested for the view of the student. One of my neighbors helped me with that, and she was nice enough to sit at the piano, and then her dad did, and I looked at various views, because remember, my iMac is not near this piano right now. It's on the Steinway. Now if you pan around the room, you can see, generally speaking, the ambience here. Here's my Steinway piano that's beside the Baldwin. We won't be using that today. And these are nice flowers that one of my students sent, which sits beside the iMac. And you can see that the iMac clearly is seated on the Steinway piano, facing the direction we normally wouldn't expect if we had piano lessons. And as I pan over to the couch here, this is where my live students will be seated and looking at the Skype students. Skype students will, by virtue of the webcam that I have set up here, will be able to experience their partners in music making who are live. They all will get to know each other today. I will have some introductions, and all this will be recorded. I will, of course, have to edit a large amount of footage, but the students will introduce themselves, what they, what their journey has been like, and when they started their piano journey, and what they do away from the piano in terms of their life, family, work. So this is going to be a very exciting first for me in terms of a global, kind of local global transaction between people and bringing the world closer together in this particular event today. Also wanted to mention that we have two views that I'm going to be using. One is going to be the webcam view of the piano when the students here play in Berkeley, and the other view will be the FaceTime view, and I'm going to switch over to that. The FaceTime view will allow us to see the students here. When they give their introductions, they'll be seated on this couch, and I'll be able to move the iMac screen a little bit toward them as they talk, or they can come up to the screen. But I will need that FaceTime view for their introductions to their compatriot players, partners in playing in different parts of the country and world. So those are my two major views. Now, I will most likely depend on the webcam view of the piano, because that's where the students will go to play here. So generally that will be my main view. And of course, as I mentioned before, when I do my Skype record, I will have to be very, very cued in to what views I want to use as we move along in this, so that I capture all of it and everyone can see. I may do some experimentation as to what split screen will give us. If split screen works, it would give us enough of the piano in the remote location, which could be Kentucky or Staten Island or England, at the same time that we get a view of the people here. And I don't think I'll really need that, but that will be just kind of a human interest thing to see people watching other people in another location. There's you do. There's you do.
Hi.
We'll have some introductions soon. I think we're almost there. Okay, how you do? You're actually, you do is moving. She's moving.
Okay, I think Sherry and Marie both have the same problem. They might have an older version of the.
Do you guys have up-to-date Skype? Sherry,
I just downloaded it, so it's gotta be.
Yeah, but I think this group video needs something. I don't know. The message that I see is that the device doesn't support it.
Okay, what I want to do is, there is something I want to do first. It's very important. And that is, I'm going to have our people here each come up before you guys do, just to make this easier, and tell us a little about themselves, okay? Their first name, they don't have to give their last, and how they came to play the piano, whether they've started as children, why they're taking this journey, and a little about their life away from the piano, okay? That way we get to know everybody. I'm going to ask Jocel to come up and do that for us. Everybody can see Jocel?
Hi everyone, yes. My name is Jocel. I started piano at about 7, and I took it for about 5 years, and I haven't taken another lesson since about April of last year when I started with Shirley. I just take it for, I guess, love of the music and love of playing.
Thank you, Jocel. And tell us what you do outside of the piano.
So my background is in clinical operations. I work for the University of San Francisco, University of California, San Francisco. Currently I'm in an IT group that does data warehousing for electronic medical records.